Hello everyone, today I'm visiting the beautiful grounds of Belsay Hall and Gardens in Northumberland, a historic estate managed by English Heritage. Although many visitors come here to explore the impressive hall itself, today's video focuses on the garden and the grounds, which are absolutely worth a visit on their own. Even in the quieter months of the year, Belsay offers a peaceful walk through history, nature, and some very special winter displays. As you arrive and begin exploring the estate, you'll quickly realise it isn't just a typical stately home garden. The grounds here cover 30 acres of historic landscape gardens, linking a grand Greek revival hall with an older medieval castle nearby. The layout is designed to lead visitors on a journey through different spaces, from open terraces to woodland paths and dramatic rock formations. The first thing that really stands out when walking around Belsay is a sense of space and calm. Even on a busy day, the garden feels peaceful. The wide lawns, mature trees and winding paths invite you to explore further. The estate dates back centuries. Many parts of the landscape were designed during the 18th and 19th centuries by members of the Middleton family, who shaped the grounds into the picturesque gardens we see today. What makes Belsay particularly interesting is how the gardens blend formal design with wild natural scenery. You might start on neat terraces near the hall, but within a few minutes you can find yourself walking through woodland or dramatic quarry landscapes. One of the highlights of Belsay is the quarry garden, and it's a place that feels quite unique. The stone used to build the hall was quarried right here, leaving behind the steep rock faces and deep ravines. Rather than hiding its industrial past, its design has turned the quarry into a spectacular garden, planting exotic trees and shrubs within the sheltered microclimate created by the surrounding rock walls. The result is a space that feels almost hidden and mysterious, with winding paths and towering cliffs of stone rising above you. Even in winter, many of the plants are dormant. The shapes and textures of the rocks, trees and pathways make it a fascinating place to wander through. One of the highlights of visiting Belsay in late winter is the display of snowdrops. Across the gardens and woodland area, thousands of these delicate white flowers begin to appear, creating beautiful carpets of white across the ground. Snowdrops have actually been part of the estate for centuries. Records show that Lady Anne Middleton began planting snowdrops here in the 1700s, starting a tradition that continued with later generations of the family. Over time, this tradition has resulted in many thousands of snowdrops growing naturally across the grounds. When they bloom between February and early March, the effect is stunning, especially in the woodland and the quarry areas, where the flowers spread beneath the trees like a blanket of white. Walking through these areas during snowdrop season is incredibly peaceful. The flowers might be small, but when they appear in such huge numbers, they create a magical scene that is often seen as one of the highlights that spring is on its way. Closer to the hall, the terrace garden provides a completely different atmosphere. The terraces down the slope from the hall create structured layers of lawns and planted beds. From here you can get some lovely views across the wider estate. Even in winter, the terraces still look impressive thanks to the structure of the gardens and the surrounding trees. In spring and summer this area becomes more colourful, with bulbs, shrubs and flowering plants, bringing the gardens to life. Another enjoyable part of walking around Belsay is simply observing the wildlife. The mix of woodland, lawns and water features creates a good habitat for birds and small mammals. As you stroll along the paths, you might notice or spot small birds moving through the trees, squirrels running along the branches, or even a deer in the quieter corner of the ground. Because the estate is so spacious, there are plenty of quiet spots where you can simply stop for a moment and enjoy the surroundings. One of the things that makes Belsay special is how the gardens connect different periods of history. The impressive Greek-style Belsay Hall, built in the 19th century, sits at the centre of the estate, but just a short walk away you'll find the much older Belsay Castle, a medieval house that once served as a family residence before the hall was built. The gardens effectively link the two buildings together, allowing visitors to walk through centuries of history while enjoying the landscape at the same time. In recent years, significant work has been carried out to preserve and restore the estates. A major conservation project helped repair parts of the hall and revive the garden, with tens of thousands of new plants added to restore historic views and planting schemes. Thanks to this work, the gardens feel both historic and well cared for, ensuring future visitors can enjoy this special place. Overall, Belsay Hall and Gardens is a fantastic place for a relaxing walk. Even without going inside the hall, the grounds alone offer plenty to see and explore. From the dramatic quarry gardens to the peaceful woodland paths and the beautiful carpet of snowdrops in the winter, there's always something interesting around the next corner. It's the kind of place where you can take your time, wander at your own pace, and simply enjoy being outdoors. If you happen to visit during snowdrop season, the display really adds something special to the experience. These delicate white flowers might be small, but seeing them spread across the landscape is a lovely reminder that spring is just around the corner. So if you're looking for a peaceful historic garden walk in the northeast, Belsay Hall and Gardens is definitely worth adding to your list. Please enjoy the remaining footage of the gardens. Thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing to the channel as it will help it grow. Take care of yourselves and I'll see you in the next one.